Making chicken enchiladas could not be easier. In fact, they're sensational. I have yet to meet somebody who doesn't love enchiladas. I have to say, everybody gets super excited when there's enchiladas at the table. So today, I want to show you how to make them in the oven. I want to get a head start on that enchilada sauce. We're going to be using 8 chiles guajillos, 2 anchos. I've already removed the seeds and the stem. And of course, we need to toast these because what's gonna happen during this process, those flavors are gonna intensify. Now, we do have to be careful because if you don't flip them constantly or have them at really high heat, you can easily burn them. And what's gonna happen, it's gonna turn them completely bitter. I'm working with medium-low temperature. I love the smell of toasted guajillos. It really is traditional, very homey, very aromatic. These are coming out. Do the same thing with the anchos. These are more on the chocolatey side, still slightly sweet, smoky, and super delicious. They need to get rinsed. I've got 3 cups of hot chicken broth in the stove. Fully submerge those peppers until they're fully hydrated. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes. And the broth that I'm using doesn't have any salt in it. That way I can adjust my own seasoning. Let's do a little prep, starting with 1 whole white onion. It needs to get diced. Heat a couple of tablespoons of avocado oil. Onion goes in. Let me quickly stir that. Oh yes. I'm gonna finely mince 3 garlic cloves. Also dice 6 ounces of tomato. I'm using Roma in this case. Let's check those onions. It looks like they have softened, and then also we're getting this beautiful light brown color. Add the garlic, and these only get cooked for a minute. Time for a tablespoon of tomato paste, and this also gets cooked for a minute. Time for the tomatoes. And we just have to wait until those juices start to release, the tomatoes fully soften, and it's starting to smell so good. Do 1/2 cup of chicken broth, the same kind, no salt added. Or you could even do low sodium. That broth has beautifully deglazed the bottom of the pan. Stir in 4 cups of already cooked chicken. It needs to be shredded. You could use a rotisserie chicken. You can cook it yourself. It really is up to you. Just make sure it gets well coated in all of the flavors. Taste it. If it needs salt, adjust it. I'm gonna taste it. Perfect. When your dish has enough salt, or in this case the filling, that chicken flavor shines through. That's how you know. All right, let's turn it off. The chicken has reheated, and we're just gonna set this filling aside until we need it. Let's finish that enchilada sauce. Pour all of those hydrated chiles along with the broth into a blender. And to that, I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of dry Mexican oregano, 4 garlic cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of black peppercorns, 1/4 teaspoon of whole cumin seeds. Cover it and blend it until it is completely smooth and the chili skin has broken down. This enchilada sauce has to be nice and thick, not like a paste, more like full-bodied, you know? It should coat that tortilla, hug it, and stay there. You know what I mean? Kind of dress it up. Same saucepan, medium-low heat. Heat a couple of tablespoons of oil. Once that's hot, carefully pour in your enchilada sauce. Give it a quick stir. And if your enchilada sauce needs to get strained, feel free to do so. I just happen to have a beautiful blender that does a beautiful job, but straining also works. I'm gonna let this reach a gentle simmer and then just let it cook for 5 minutes. Look at the consistency. If it gets a little too thick, you can always loosen it with a bit more broth. Or if it's too loose, you can always reduce it down a bit more. Finally, add salt to taste. Great, set it aside. It is tortilla time. We're gonna need about 15 corn tortillas. And here's the thing. Those flimsy store-bought corn tortillas are not going to work. Why? Because they're gonna break easily. So your best bet is to make them at home. I have a full tutorial on how to do it. Don't worry. If you don't get that puff, it's okay. They're still gonna work. And if they're stale, even better, meaning you make them a day before. Second option is going to be those sturdy, good-looking tortillas from your local tortilleria that are usually inside a Mexican store. Those do really good as well. And that's what I'm using today. I'm gonna place a large pan over medium heat. Add about a 1/4 cup of avocado oil. Let that get nice and hot. And pan fry those tortillas until they're flexible, pliable, about 10 seconds per side, 20 seconds total per tortilla, and transfer them onto a plate. If you know a brand of tortilla that does really well for this kind of task, Enchiladas, let us know down in the comment section. Share the joy with us. We want to know. Help a friend out. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Now lightly spray a 10 by 13 inch baking pan. That's excluding those handles. Pour some of that enchilada sauce and spread it so that it coats the entire bottom of the baking dish. I've got those warm tortillas. Spoon some of that chicken on the edge, and I like to be generous, my friends, have tons of that protein. That's why we made a ton of that filling, and just roll it up. Transfer them over into the baking pan. Continue with the rest, and if you feel like those tortillas have a lot of oil, you can always pat them dry with a paper towel. Finally, top them with the enchilada sauce. And I just love to leave some of that corn tortilla exposed, for looks. Once all of the sauce is on top, nicely layered, it's time for the melting cheese. I'm gonna be using grated Oaxaca, but you can also do mozzarella. We are already drooling, you guys, but these have to go into the oven for 20 minutes until they're heated through and they get nice and bubbly. Finally, to get that golden brown color on top, you're gonna turn on that broil on high for 2 to 3 minutes. Just keep an eye on it. We've got enchiladas, and oh my goodness, I cannot wait to dig into these. Bubbling cheese, tons of flavor, such a treat. These enchiladas can easily be paired with Mexican side dishes like refried beans or a salad made with your favorite vegetables. Additionally, topping them with crema mexicana or sour cream adds a layer of creaminess, so don't skip it. Another great side dish is Mexican rice. Personally, I have to carb count, so adding a salad helps balance everything out. All of these recipes will be linked in the description area just for you.
All right, let's go.
Enchiladas just makes me so excited.
Oh boy, I hear you.
This is one of my favorite dishes, you guys. Enchiladas for sure.
Unfortunately, I can't eat them every day, but this is so good.
Wow. There's nothing better than some really good enchiladas made with love, enthusiasm. You're craving it when you start. You're craving it through the middle. And then by the end, you're just like excited. At least that's how I feel.
And I've heard people say before, people, especially ladies, they say, "Oh, I can't eat what I cooked." You've heard that term before? Like,
Because it get full through the cooking process.
Is it the smell?
No. It could be because we're tasting as we go, and sometimes you taste too much.
Well, when I was little, I had the impression that what ladies meant was that the smell itself filled them up, so I don't know.
You're like, who can fill up with just the smell of it? Yeah. But I grew up on enchiladas, so this hits home for me big time. Obviously, we make them a little bit different in Michoacán, my little hometown, so loved, so cherished. But these are very close to them.
I didn't grow up on enchiladas or this type of dishes. Anything that has dry peppers, I really didn't grow up with. But man, I love it.
Enchilada for me was almost every day.
And those enchiladas are so good. With a piece of chicken on the side.
I'll link to that recipe in the description area. I've already made them. I have it on cocina.com, so feel free to check that out as well.
We made a video of that in Mexico, didn't we?
Yes, we did, with ingredients that are grown in the region. Come on.
By the river, really.
By the river, really, yeah. Look, these are amazing. The full printable recipe is going to be available on cocina.com. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, and click the notification bell. All right.
All right.
Bye, everyone. I love it this way because since they're coming off of the pan straight into the plate, they don't have time to really get cold. So I love it this way too.